What is going on, guys? Craig 1287 here, bringing you yet another video for Betafield 4, and this time going to be looking at the PP2000. This is the second PDW that you unlock for the engineer class. Well, actually, it's the first one you unlock because the MX4 is open by default. But so let's look at how it compares to the MX4, because I have very mixed feelings on this PP2000. Now, the MX4 definitely wins in the rate of fire department. It has a rate of fire of 830 rounds per minute, whereas the PP2000 only shoots at 650 rounds per minute. So basically, all their damage stats are the same. They both deal 25 at close range, 12 at their furthest range. Their damage drop-off starts at 10 and ends at 60 meters. Given that, why would you ever choose the PP2000 if it shoots so much slower? Yeah, the MX4 is going to win in, pretty much every single equal close quarters engagement. So why would you even want to use the PP2000? Well, the magazine size of the MX4 is only 30, and when it shoots at 830 rounds per minute, you're going to hope that all your shots are accurate, because you're going to be eating through that ammo magazine real quick, and with a rate of fire like that, you're probably not going to be as accurate at medium and long range. A lot of those shots are going to miss because there's just so many more bullets going down range between your shots that the bullet bloom per shot, it's going to add up, and you're going to miss a lot. So the PP2000 is a better medium range gun, but it also has an extra thing up its sleeve that helps it to keep it competitive at close range, and that is the fact that its magazine size is 44 plus 1. Alright, so it can hold up to 45. This is actually pretty much right there on par with the first LMG that you get for the support class that holds 45 plus 1, so it's only one less. Both deal 25 damage at close range, so the time to kill is going to be a little higher for the PP2000 over, compared to the MX4 at close range, but it can, it's got a little bit more potential to take on multiple opponents because it does have so many more rounds. It's also a lot easier to get headshots, again, because of that lower rate of fire. You're going to be a little more accurate. Yeah, not as many bullets are going to go down range as fast, but more are potentially going to connect, and that actually could correlate to a faster time to kill. A lot of people like to forget that you still have to have your bullets connect to kill your opponent. So just because you're shooting a lot more downrange doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a more effective killing machine. Now, in terms of the reload times, both guns pretty brutal for an empty reload. If you go through all the rounds, the MX4 reloads at 3.5 seconds versus the PP2000's 3.4, so it's only a difference of 0.1 second. Same thing with the reload, the short reload time, where if you reload early and get there's at least one bullet in the chamber, it's 2.6 versus 2.5. So that comparison right there, the PP2000 is a little quicker, but it's so much so that it really doesn't make a difference. But because, again, it's got 44 plus 1 versus the 30 plus 1, the likelihood of you reaching the empty magazine is a lot slimmer with the PP2000. You've got, potentially, you got 14 additional rounds to go through, and those rounds are going to be expending a lot slower. Or not a lot, but a good amount slower, about 25% slower. Again, potentially that could help it in close quarters. That just depends on your your trigger discipline and stopping your shots before you run out. And then in terms of recoil, again, to help the PP2000 kind of become more of a medium-range weapon, the PP2000 does have less recoil. The MX4's got 0.77 vertical, and the PP2000 has 0.52. I don't have any stats for its left and right recoil or the recoil decrease or the first shot. Symthic is working on that. With it being a beta, they don't want to put too much time and effort into getting these numbers when they might all change come full release. And then in terms of the hip fire, for moving and not moving, standing, crouch, prone, all of that stuff, the PP2000 takes the cake. I gotta say, the PP2000 is easily the hip fire king. Whether you got a laser on there for both the weapons, no laser on both the weapons, in any case, the hip fire on the PP2000 is fantastic. It's 2.2 for not moving down the line for the MX4 and 2.48 for moving. For the PP2000, it is 1.83 and 2.02, but it's a little less if you are crouched or prone. It goes down to 194. Basically, if what I just said probably doesn't make sense just hearing it like that, but just take my word. The PP2000 is the hipfire king in the Battlefield 4 beta as it is right now. Now, obviously once the full game comes out, we get a whole lot more weapons available to us. There might be one that is better, especially one that is, similar hipfire stats in addition to having that higher rate of fire, but as it is now, that really, and hipfire is great for close range. You don't use hipfire for far range. That just doesn't make sense. So, looking at these stats, I mean, you might want to say the MX4 is the better gun for close range, but PP2000 seems like it's much more well-rounded. It's got more damage per magazine. Granted, it's not got the damage per second or the damage per minute that the MX4 has, but it's got the more damage per magazine. In many cases, that's a lot more important, especially if you're on these 64-player servers. You're going to be, the likelihood of you turning the corner and seeing 3 individuals is a lot higher. So if you're on a small map, if you're doing domination, once it's available, TDM, that new game mode, diffuse, you might want to go with the MX4 because it's going to excel in these smaller maps that don't have as much medium and long range and don't have as many players that you could potentially run into. That's when you're going to go for the MX4. But in this case, PP2000 is probably a way to go. That being said, it's still not the best medium to long range because its damage does drop to 12 once you get to 60 meters. That is a pretty strong negative. So these are PDWs. They're meant for close range. It's up to you guys. Use them and take what I've said and just interpret it how you see fit and bring it into your own style of gameplay. Hope you've enjoyed the gameplay. Have a good one. Ta-ta.